Hello and welcome to Ask-a-Techie. My name is Tim Smale, e-learning fellow with the Faculty of Health, and this week I'm joined with Jonathan Knight from IT Services, Matthew West from the LPDC, and Dan Harding from HUMS. And we've had only a few questions in this week, so we're really asking for more questions for a fortnight's time. Ask you to look out for the emails. The first thing that I'll actually show to you this week is we've now got a community set up, which is in Google, called Ask-a-Techie. This is in Google+, so those of you that aren't already signed up to Google+, if you want to become part of the community, and I highly recommend that you do, then you need to sign into Google+, and the easiest way to do that is from your emails, is click that symbol at the top there, which is plus in your name, so mine is plus Tim.
I think if they haven't signed in before, isn't it plus you? Until you sign in for the first time. But yeah, it's got a plus sign in front of it.
When you do sign in, it will ask you for your date of birth and some other demographic questions. It's up to you if you want to put in real information. Don't put yourself in as under 18. Unfortunately, under 18 has some limitations on your account, and it requires a credit card or a call to IT services.
No, I think it's a credit card job to get it.
It's still a credit
card.
Yeah.
If you think you're under 13, it locks your account and demands a credit card off you to get it unlocked.
Yeah.
Not for any particular reason. I think it's only about 30 cents they actually ask for, which is the smallest amount they could ask for. But it proves you've got a credit card, which means you must be 18.
So we're all 21.
Yeah.
But this community here, it's a very simple Google community, and it's a good demonstration of what you can do with a Google Plus community. It allows us to display information, so we have all posts selected on the left-hand side here, but we have a separate session for discussions. That's some of the posts there. We have past episodes, where you can see all of the past episodes that we've been producing, any events, so this is today's episode, and any photos that we upload in the future. So please feel free to search for and join Ask-a-Techie. We will still send out notification on mailing lists, at least for a few more episodes, but what we don't want to do is start spamming everybody, so we will start to reduce down the mailing lists that we send this announcement out on. So again, just search for Ask-a-Techie in the Google Communities whilst you're signing in with your Keel account, and you'll be able to click a join button which appears in the top right, sort of over here. So, going back, our first question this week was asked, what is the difference between a folder and a label in Gmail, and where does Archive store emails? I think the first thing to say is there aren't folders.
There are no folders, no.
There is one.
Well, there's one. It's called All Mail, and it's right down the bottom. If you go down your list of folders, right down the bottom, there's a little button marked More. If you click on More, it will show you a folder called All Mail. If you click on that, you will find everything. Everything's been supposedly archived. Everything sent, everything received, it's all in one big puddle of email. And all that happens is when new mail arrives is that Google will attach it a label to it called Inbox, which is why it appears when you click on that inbox on the left-hand side. And when you add more labels on, it appears under more labels. That's pretty much it. So when you actually remove all the labels, effectively it's called archived, and it just lives in that All Mail box.
Well, not all labels. Only removes the inbox label.
Well, I think if you press the archive button, it takes all the labels off, doesn't it?
No, we'll demonstrate this now. So this email has come in to us. I got to this via the All Mail just to demonstrate. So in All Mail, because it shows up the labels, this one came in and it came in as inbox. So when I click on inbox on the left-hand side, what this is actually doing is searching the All Mail for anything that has a label on it called inbox, and because it's your inbox and it kind of assumes you know why things are there, it doesn't show that label when you're in the inbox view. Similarly, starred, important, sent mail, drafts, that's doing a search for anything in All Mail that has those labels on it.
Except for send, of course, which is the odd one, isn't it? That
Sorry.
always
Yes.
throws people,
One is missing.
because send isn't actually a label. Send is a little heuristicy thing
Yeah.
that's kind of done. So yeah, I mean, lots of people ask the question of, can I move messages out of sent somewhere?
No. Send
No,
is a
you can't.
query for all mail from your email address. So that's not a label. It's looking for a search term. So if we create this one here, and I'm going to use the label button at the top here, and I'll explain the difference between these in a moment. So the label button here, and I'm just going to create a new label called Ask-a-Techie. And now I could nest this under one of the other labels I've created. There's one there called ePad support, but I'm going to create this as a top level label, and I'm going to put that on the left hand side. So now when I click on that label, it does a query for everything that has that label, and you can see this one here, it brings back this email, and you can see now it's got the two labels, inbox and AAT. We can append as many labels as we want to this, and it's the analogy that I use with staff is post-it notes. You have your folder and you stick post-it notes all over it, and you lay them out on a table, and then when you do a search for a particular type of label there, you're looking everything that has a pink post-it note on it. So going back to our inbox, we've got this one here, it's got the AAT label on, and I could just click archive, and if I go into AAT, it's still there, and if we go into it, you see that it's just left with the AAT label. The inbox label has been removed from that.
It does just take that off. I thought it took all the labels off.
So the really nice thing is to set up an automation of everything that comes to you, say from a mailing list. For example, ALT mailing list, Association of Learning Technology. Everything that comes from them automatically gets a label in my inbox, and so if it's something I'm not interested in right now but want to look at later, I can just click archive on it, and it moves it just to having that ALT label, and I can pull it up later. If I just move this back to inbox, so I can just go into, can I do it as labels?
Yeah, why not?
No, I can't.
Perhaps do a move to then.
So if I move it to inbox, there we go, it puts them both back on there, both labels. Now, if I just remove the AAT, so we're just back to the inbox, it's the same as if it had just arrived. Now, if instead of using the label button, I use the move to and select AAT, what you'll notice is when we go into AAT and open up the email again, it's just got the AAT. So what this button on the left, which looks like a folder, which is very, very confusing because it's not a folder.
Yeah, it looks like a folder, acts like a folder, but it's actually a label.
Yeah. What this does is it removes the inbox button and it appends the label that you've selected. So in effect, what this button here does is goes through label, adds the label, and then clicks the archive button for you. So it's kind of a quick way of taking something, appending a label, and archiving it, whereas this one here just appends the label and allows you to archive it later on. Now, of course, if you remove all of the labels, you're not going to find it in inbox or AAT, but you are going to find it if you come down and go to all mail. You're still going to be able to find that message.
You can also find it through search as well.
You can. The search at the top here, if we just drop down, this is very, very powerful. Allows you to search in all mail or to filter based on one of the searches that's there, such as, has the label. But you can also put that in to any of these bits down here, or you can actually type it in. So if I put in has attachment, for example, has label, has circle, and all of those things there, it's just very quick and easy to do. From : allows you to very quickly search for emails from people or to people, and that search is a very, very powerful one. But if you do think of these labels as sticky post-it notes, and that you're able to append them or remove them, it does tend to help people understand how they actually work a bit better. You guys okay with that answer?
Very comprehensive.
I think you've covered everything, yeah.
Okay. So, looking at the second question we were asked is, how do you put YouTube videos into the KLE? Is there a right way and a wrong way of doing it? It's probably easier to answer the second part of that and then demonstrate some of the ways. So, do you guys think there's a right way and a wrong way?
I wouldn't say it's that clear cut, is it? It's not. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. There's different ways of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take the direct web link if you want to share a video and put it straight into Kaylee. You can also use the mashup tools, we call it.
Mm-hmm.
You can record your own videos that go into YouTube from the text editor that you see within an item or something like that.
It's multiple layered now with the text editor having the direct link to the mashup feature.
Yeah.
That it can appear as part of a piece of text that surrounds another item, so there's a wrapper within a wrapper, and it's as complicated as you want it to be nowadays.
Do you have any preference coming from IT services? What's your
No,
recommendations?
it's you got unlimited storage. You can any way that works really. Just make sure the permissions are what you expect them to be. Once you've got it in there, just have a quick look and just check it's all right.
Yeah, because there's the video anywhere feature inside.
Yes, if
Blackboard.
that always, I'm pretty sure that goes in as private.
It always goes in as private so that it can't be seen outside of the cohort, but everyone in that cohort on that course will see the video you create, and it's a great tool for allowing students and staff to actually send messages to each other via video. It's quite an accessible feature.
If I just demonstrate here, we're just going to build content and create an item. So this would be one that maybe you'd write some text in. I'm just going to call that demo 1. You can see that in the extended toolbar, so if yours looks like this here, just a single line, use the double chevron on the far right. It gives you the extra 2 rows of buttons, and that's that little red glowing webcam icon. It's probably going to hate me for doing this whilst broadcasting, but that allows you to open up and record. You have to sign into YouTube. Don't forget, everybody has a YouTube account. That's part of Google. So just sign in with your Kill credentials, and it'll allow you to.
That should also sign you on if you're already in Blackboard. That should take you straight in.
Possibly because we're going live, broadcasting live. It's not.
Oh yeah,
it'll require an extra permission.
Yeah, I don't want to risk hitting that button and cutting us off. So
it's a do once process if you're in your office.
Yeah.
You set it up. You get your webcam running. You can then record from wherever you are.
There's millions of videos on YouTube that are private of people going hello, hello, test, test. But that's fine. Just have a go. You can always delete it later on. There's also the browse feature in there, which will allow you to browse.
Or find an existing video.
Allow you to browse your videos? Yes, it is.
It will indeed.
So these are videos that aren't publicly available, which is this must be a recent addition, because you never used to be able to browse your unlisted or private videos. Well, obviously private you couldn't put in there, but unlisted ones.
It's recognizing you as a user as YouTube, and it's presenting everything that you've got access to. So you can put something out to a particular student if required through selective release. There are all sorts of extra layers of features that you can use inside the VLE to get that through.
So I could select last fortnight's episode of Ask-a-Techie.
Yeah, pop that in.
You don't need to worry about the width. If you leave the width and height as standard, which is 480 by 360, that should be sufficient. And insert that, and you can see that just drops in. You're not going to see that in the WYSIWYG, which is this editor. What you see is what you get.
It's a placeholder for it that appears on the screen.
Yeah.
But you can, of course, type around that now because it's an editor. You can click in there. You could add some more context.
Have I dropped off? Oh dear.
You dropped off the network.
Stop broadcast.
No, we're okay.
Are we broadcasting still?
We're still broadcasting on the one down there, but I'm not sure that anybody can see us right now. Unfortunately, clicking that button did cause me a glitch. So that's a lesson learned, but I should be back in just a second.
There is some people use the Blackboard assignment tool for doing video assignments and stuff, and you can give video feedback even on that rather obscure little feedback box, but not because the default is that you get a very tiny version of the VTBE with only a very few options, but you have to click the little pop-out button, and that pops up a full-blown one, which then again has the mashup tool in it, so you can give video feedback on assignments. And again, audio feedback on Turnitin's in there somewhere, isn't it?
It is. It's got through the grade mark feature. You can actually leave up to a 3-minute per assignment feedback for the students,
which saves time.
It does. It does. It's particularly useful in certain cases.
So I think I'm back. Hopefully you can all now see my screen again. Yeah. So try submitting this. Hopefully it's not going to cause me to drop out again. But as soon as you drop that in there, you can see there that the video drops in nicely for the students to play. And when they start playing that, they'll also be able to make it full screen, etc. So that's the easiest way of putting your videos in to YouTube.
Could you go and try one through the mashup tool through an item, Tim, just to show that? I mean, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah. So under mashups here, you've got things like Flickr photos, SlideShare, but you've got the YouTube video there, and that just allows you to search. I'll search for hopefully a safe term, and you can then just select a video from here. You can preview it, find the one that you want, but I'm just going to select a video there.
It's worth noting here that the option just below the WYSIWYG editor is whether or not you show the video as a thumbnail or it's embedded. And if it's embedded, of course, all the contextual information that you write in your WYSIWYG will word wrap around the actual video. So
does it? It doesn't look too good.
No, it looks great.
Oh, it does.
It looks great because your students can still read what the context information is around the video.
So we're recommending switching the view to embed as opposed to thumbnail.
I think it's a personal choice.
Yeah.
If you want to save on space, a lot of people go for thumbnail.
Yeah.
But embed does have benefits if you want to write stuff around it.
The rest of those can pretty much stay as default, and again, when you submit that will just drop into your page. The last one, I suppose, is picking up a video that is unlisted that somebody else created. The way to do that is actually to go to the YouTube page. So maybe someone sent you a link to a video. You can go to that YouTube page, click on the share, and then select embed. And if I just show more here, just to get the full options out, this is HTML code, which is called an iframe, and you've got video sizes down here. The standard one is usually absolutely fine to use. Personally, I turn off show suggested videos at the end. It's always a bit of a risk what videos it's going to show to your students. Most are harmless because obviously YouTube has really good policies on what you can and can't put into YouTube. But personally, I always feel it's safer just to disable the suggested videos on finish, leave the player controls and video title and player actions selected. You don't need the privacy enhanced mode. Once you've got all of that, highlight the HTML code and make sure it starts with iframe and finishes with /iframe. Copy that over into Blackboard, and you're just going to build an item the same as we did the first time. And this time, instead of just dropping the code into here, which the students would just see as pure text, what you want to do is select this button on the far right called HTML, which is next to a button that says CSS. We're selecting HTML and just dropping it into this window and clicking update. That's all you need to do. You don't need to worry about learning HTML or what it does. You're just copying and pasting that in. And again, when you click submit, that's just going to drop that in, and we can see that the video drops in at the bottom there.
I mean, widescreen on that one.
Yeah, the other one I think's got a bit of a black bar at top and the bottom.
That's the width and height settings, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Blackboard assuming that everything's a 4:3 ratio.
I think a lot of staff wonder as well sometimes how to get that embed code out of other things. So things like Google Forms, it's all the same route, it's all exactly the same. Use that HTML button.
And anywhere that says embed and it gives you that code, usually it's an iframe. So anything that sort of starts with a less than symbol with the term iframe inside it, that's an embed code that you can just drop straight in somewhere else. So
do you want to just, I know you just didn't share the screen. Can you show what how you look at the permission settings on the video, just so that people can?
Yeah.
Just so if they want to go and check if a video is actually secure or not, they can just have a quick peek at where that data is actually stored.
So in your YouTube, if you come up so if you click on your avatar in the top right here and click on Creator Studio, and then click on Video Manager on the left hand side, this lists out all your videos and actually shows you here what the privacy settings are on these. Just to demonstrate some differences. Here we go. This one is public, means that anybody can search for it on Google. If you search for Ask-a-Techie episode 005 in Google, it will return our video, and that tells you when it was published, when it was made public. The next one there is unlisted. This means that somebody going to a search engine will not find your video unless someone that you've given the link to, or someone that you've given the link to has given it to somebody else, who's given it to somebody else to put it onto a website. If somebody else puts it on a website somewhere else, then obviously they're going to be able to find it. But by standard, nobody's going to find my video here, Professional Portfolio, unless I give them the link. So I have to go in, share, find that link, and give it to somebody else for them to be able to find that particular video. You have to weigh up trusting the people that you give the link to whether or not they're going to pass it around. Something we do in health is we inform the students that the content that we present to them is for their eyes only and not to be shared with anybody else. And you know, that's part of their professionalism to not share videos around, especially ones that somebody imitating could cause harm to somebody else. And the last one there is private. That means only those listed will be able to see that one. So this was a demo video that I did the other day, and if I just, sorry, I've gone into the wrong part. So if I click on the edit button here, we can see here that it is private, and nobody else can see that because I've not listed any names in here. But if I put in Matt West, for example, and click share, Matt will receive an email. He will be able to access this when he's signed in using his Keel account, but nobody else will be able to access this, and Matt won't be able to share it with anybody else either. Whereas if I change it to unlisted, you see that it drops off the ability to add people in because you just give them the URL to your video, and if I made it public, then obviously that would be searchable by anybody on the web. If I want to remove Matt, I can just click the X there and save changes, and now when he comes to click on the previous email that he would have had, it'll just tell him, sorry, you don't have privileges to see this video.
Whilst we're in the screen, Tim, do you want to just show the advanced settings as well, because there are a couple of other options in there that staff can have a look at as well.
Do you want to talk us through those?
Yeah, sure. So in advanced settings, depending on the kind of video that you've got and the way you want to use it with your students maybe, or if it's not for students' view, there's some features there that will allow you to stop comments being made on the video. There are other features such as Creative Commons that you can add to the videos. Lots of other things as well. You can allow embedding, so you could disable embedding if you really wanted to. And also,
that would mean you wouldn't be able to put it into the care link.
Yes, that would stop doing what we've just demonstrated. And there's also facilities as well, so you can categorize your video. So if you want to put it under education, add a location. So if you type in a postcode into that search box there, then you can say it was created at Keel if you want to.
You can. There's an age restriction down there for anything that feels inappropriate for minors.
And you can add a recording date to it as well. So there's quite a few little features that are hidden away in that advanced settings menu that might be useful to you.
The one you don't need to worry about is the caption certification.
Yeah.
This is all about laws in the US. The captioning, so the subtitles, potentially have different copyrights applied to them to the actual video itself. So in the US, a lot of the time you have to certify that the content has never aired on television in the US, and other such options in there. It's not something we have to worry about in the UK unless we're reproducing videos that are shown on TV in the US, really. Okay. Right. So, as I say, we didn't have many questions submitted to us this time. If you are watching live, don't forget you can use the Q&A tool. It is up in the top right. Hopefully I'm pointing in the correct direction. It's one of those two directions. There should be a Q&A button for you to click, and you can post your questions to us now. We're just going to quickly have a roundup of sort of issues that we've been dealing with this week. If you do have a question, please ask it quickly, and we will try and get to it before the end of this episode. Dan, we'll start with you. So, anything you've had this week?
I don't want to muddy the waters at all, but the thing that I was going to mention just while we're on the YouTube topic was that you can also use Google Drive for storing video as well. So you can take an embed code out of Google Drive if you've got a video in there and put that into the KLE as well. You can't use the mashup tool if you're putting video into Google Drive, but it's just another option. And as well, the other thing that staff may or may not be aware of is that now the storage limit on all of our Google Drive spaces has now been removed. So we don't have any limit other than an individual file limit of.
So does that
5 terabytes? Yeah,
plenty of storage.
So does that actually still give them the player controls and embed it as a playable video, or do they have to download it?
Yes, there's still a player view, so you can play the video back from within Google Drive. Although I think it's safest to put it in as an MP4 when you're putting things in there, because I think other file formats might be a little bit.
Yeah, if you're producing your own videos, usually you get the MP4 option as a save as. But if you're doing something more advanced in, say, video editing software such as Adobe Premiere, then probably best to talk to us, talk to someone with experience in your area. You probably want to use the encodecs, things like H.264 and other things like that most people won't be aware of. So talk to us if you're worried about the format you're outputting your video in.
Yeah.
One of the nice things about using YouTube directly is it does have that multiple resolution modes built in.
Yeah.
So that somebody who's on a train or something with very poor internet can still see.
That wasn't a feature in Google Drive before, but it is now.
It is now.
Yeah, they've kind of built in some features from YouTube into the Google Drive video stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so it makes it.
Do you think they'll mash them together at one point?
I don't know. It's kind of an added facility for Google Drive at the moment, and it's something that I guess a lot of people don't know they can do or don't know it's there.
It does sound like they're making YouTube storage the Google Drive in the future, and it does look like they're bringing them together again, like they've done with the photos.
It's the traditional, well, it's becoming traditional Google way of doing things is just to sort of throw more features in, and people seem like a really good idea, and they make it happen. Oh, wait and see on that one.
And the other thing that's quite nice about it as well is if you're giving the link out to students and you want them to be able to download that video, then it's quite easy for them, as you would do with another Google Doc, to go file, so either save a copy or there's a download option, I think, that they can then get that video out and store it on whatever device they might be using.
Okay. Matt, anything for you this week?
Nothing particularly this week. No, Tim.
John?
Yet more work on moving the lecture capture project forward,
Yeah.
which is going along quite nicely. We had some issues with the VLE and Word documents. Looks like they're proving to be a bit of a problem, but like I say, if you can get students to put everything in PDFs, that's all working fine. Other than that, I think normal kind of firefighting, normal sort of.
Getting your office set up.
Well, yes, the
New
office is.
office.
Yeah, we're fine.
We've talked about that. I've been spending most of my week sort of doing coding, so I've not really been firefighting too much. The last question, we've not had any questions coming in live, but the last question I was asked is people wondering how we put these sessions together. They seem to think that there's a lot of effort involved to create these, and it's not that difficult. If anyone else wanted to do a similar sort of broadcast, if they wanted to do something discreetly, it's just using Google Hangouts on air, and I can show you the setup that we have here. We're using some microphones here that are put into a soundboard. The reason for that is that we want you to hear us easily and clearly. So we've got the six microphones. I'm not a great cameraman, sorry.
I think I make it 5 actually.
Terrible.
I can't count either. There's only 5 microphones.
5 microphones. Sorry.
There's a backup on the laptop.
Yeah. So we've got the five microphones here, and they come into a soundboard, and we just take a normal 3.5mm jack. We take that down there to a laptop that.
I think you've already lost everyone there.
So just a normal headphones cable, microphone cable that goes down to a laptop that you can see at the bottom there, and we've got a big screen at the top just so that we can all see what's going on.
I think for most people, they could if you just have a laptop which has got a built-in camera and microphone, you can use Hangouts on air to do something along this line. You don't need all this complicated stuff.
No, exactly.
And to be fair, Tim did spend 15 minutes trying to get the microphones to work before we started, so there are issues.
You do have to, if you are using external microphones, you have to make sure that the one that's going into Google Hangouts is the one that you want to present, and there's a little cog at the top that allows you to select and check your audios and things like that. But it is literally just the same as a Google Hangout, but being broadcast live. People can access this either through the event page in Google+, or because we had a question about joining Google Plus this week, somebody not wanting to fill in their date of birth and things, which is absolutely fine if that's what you want to do. You can actually go to this directly on the YouTube page, which means you don't have to sign in at all. You're just on YouTube. You don't get the added functionality of being able to ask us questions and rate us thumbs up, thumbs down during the session. But you can just watch it straight from YouTube and watch that live, or as we put these up as recordings, you can watch the recordings as well.
Okay. Yeah, basically a laptop would do it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You could just a laptop stuck in front of you. I did a bit higher, so
go
you
back to episode 1, our pilot episode. We did all of that from laptops in our own offices.
True.
We decided to come together like this to remove background noise. Some of us work in open offices, and people talking in the background can affect.
Yeah, we're still making a cup of tea behind me. So, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
So okay. Thank you all for watching. Remember, on YouTube, click the thumbs up to say that you like us. Add your comments; they're all welcome. And go to Google Plus and sign in to the Ask-a-Techie community. Again, where we'll be putting information about the next episode in hopefully 2 weeks' time. And you can also ask your questions at any point by any of those methods, or by contacting Matt West from LPDC, or myself, Tim Smale, from the Faculty of Health. Thank you.